Hey everybody, what's going on? I am Jamie Dawn, your evolutionary revolutionary astrologer, bringing you your celestial wisdom for the week of October 22nd through the 28th of 2023. It is another fairly big week as we have our last eclipse series of the Taurus Scorpio energy. And so it's a wide conjunction. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And I'm also going to share my screen so you can look at the chart that I'm looking at as I'm making these interpretations with you. And granted, these are my interpretations. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the process, because that's really what this big theme, I'll give you some big themes here for this upcoming week and what we've been in. I know there's a bit of agitation that's happening because we're between the new moon eclipse that we just had in Libra on the 14th, and now on the 28th, on Saturday, we're going to have that, like I say, that lunar eclipse, which is a full moon. And so we often feel the intensities of that full moon as the energy builds. And that's what's happening is the previous weekend, we had the first quarter moon, which is where things can get a little bit testing. We're trying to test the waters a little bit from these intentions that we've planted when the new moon happened, right? So we're wanting to see some manifestation of it. We see some results of it, but it's not ready to be revealed yet until this full moon comes. And then there's some revelation. But the thing about this full moon isn't so much the reveal from the Libra new moon energy that we just had. So pocket that for a second, because remember, that new moon solar eclipse was planting these seeds of intention that are going to create a good 6 months to 18 month cycle, because it's an eclipse, and eclipses are happening in their sign of the nodes, and the nodes change signs every 18 months. And so the nodes recently changed from Scorpio Taurus now to Libra Aries. Stay with me. So let me give you some themes here, okay? We are also going to be officially entering into Scorpio season this week, as the sun will ingress into Scorpio. Mercury will already have moved into the sign of Scorpio. That happened on Saturday, the 21st. So here we are with Mercury. The sun's going to move into Scorpio. Mars is already in Scorpio, which is its home sign. So we are going to officially be in the Scorpio season by Tuesday. Or excuse me, Monday. Sun ingresses late Monday afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. And then, like I say, we have a full moon, and that means that the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Taurus. Some of the other key players that we're going to have here is with the sun, Mercury, Mars, all in Scorpio. It also means they're going to be in conjunction, or canoodling, as I like to say. They're going to be snuggling up against each other, and Mars is going to be directly stationed across the sky, opposition to Jupiter, which is retrograding right now through the sign of Taurus on the eclipse. So on Saturday and this full moon, Mercury is going to be at 10 degrees. So there, you might as well consider Mercury and Mars opposing Jupiter retrograde in Taurus. What does all this mean? So here are some of the themes that we are working with. And it's the Scorpio energy is all about forming strong emotional bonds, but it also has to surrender to the processes of things. You can't control it. Scorpio energy, and I'm kind of isolating Scorpio at the moment. The Scorpio energy alone, it needs to feel like it's in control so that it forms those bonds, to be able to say, can I trust these bonds? Can I trust you? So we're going to be working with issues of trust. We're going to be working with issues of intimacy. We're going to be looking at penetrating really deeply beneath the surface of things. Scorpio is the why child, if you will. It wants to know why things are happening, and it will stop at nothing until it is comfortable with the answer that is finally settled upon, but it will exhaust you, and it will exhaust others, as it has to know why I'm getting where I am. And part of that, again, it goes back to that I can't trust something I don't know about, or I'm going to test this over and over again until I know for certain it's not going to let me down, you know? And real intimacy requires the vulnerability. So we're going to be looking at that. Privacy issues, secrets, all of that is very Scorpionic. How that can apply to what is happening. So at the beginning of the week, we may already be feeling it, is there's going to be this real deep penetrating desire with Mars here to get beneath the surface of things, to do some investigative work. If there's a big question mark that we've had for a while, that maybe it's something inside of us. Maybe there's an old pattern, there's something that we have been holding on to that we just couldn't seem to wrestle to the ground. We're going to do some good investigative work to get to the bottom of it, so that we can then finally wrap our heads around it with Mercury and Scorpio and say, okay, now I understand why I was doing that thing I was doing, and I can change it. What tools do I have? And so we're going to be looking at ways in which maybe we need to hone some more skills as well. Something else that you may find is that there's going to be a lot of real investigative work that happens in the sense of problem solving, maybe code breaking. It could be something gets revealed because we're revealing a truth that was hidden. There's a lot of hidden information that starts to come to light. And as it builds to this full moon, what often happens is not everything is 100% truth when it first gets revealed. So we're going to say, is this really true? Is what is coming out here, whether we're talking globally, locally, or within our own personhood, our own relationships? What else do I need to know about this? The shadow side is it can make us a little paranoid too, because it's like, wait a minute, can I really trust this person if they said this, but now something else is being revealed that that's not true? I will say there may be a few of you who are watching this that the reveal or the secret comes out that there was an affair happening, or that they didn't really feel the way that they felt that they said they did. There is an indication here that there could be some breakups, but let me tell you that in doing so, it's going to release you from a pattern that no longer serves you. It's going to release you from a relationship that's toxic, that's not good for you. And while there's grief and while there's pain, it also will pass. And that's part of trusting the process. Now, I feel as though this could be a really great week ahead to tap into some of the magical qualities, some of that intuitive nature, also to be able to really dive deep into your spirituality, into the things that sustain you and that you can trust. If you're feeling a little wobbly, come back to the things you know to be true for you right now. And I also think that there's going to be a lot of us that are going to be asking some of those deeper, tougher questions, which is important, because it's like, hey, do you love me? Do you want to be with me? Do we have the same values? Do we want the same things in life? And those are good questions to now explore. There's going to be a lot of exploratory energy here. There's also going to be this desire with Mars and Scorpio to go deeper into conversations and to have that depth and that I'll even say what it can do is it can create a little bit of drama and passion that then has to be expressed through sex. So why not enjoy? If you've felt like things are a little lackluster in the bedroom, this is a spicy time. And with Mercury in Scorpio, you can explore some taboo things, some things. It's like, hey, let's mix some things up in the bedroom. Why not have a little fun? What two people decide to do with each other is totally up to them. There's that wonderful agency involved. So like I say, I'm going to share my screen just to give you some idea of what I'm looking at. And we've got on Saturday, you can see here, Mercury is at 29 degrees Libra. And if I advance it a day, Mercury will have ingressed into the sign of Scorpio on Sunday. So Saturday, the 21st, we may be feeling the last effects of being diplomatic. And then here comes Mercury changing signs. And it's like, okay, no more diplomacy. Let's get to the meat. Let's get to the heart of this. Let's get to the root, And as the week continues, here we have Monday. You can see that the sun has ingressed into the sign of Scorpio. And that happens fairly early on Monday morning on the Pacific coast, and later, depending, like I say, where you are in the world. And so you can see here that the sun and Mercury are at 0 and 2 degrees. They're pretty close. And for me, I use an 8-degree orb for aspects, especially major aspects. And so we've got the sun and Mars canoodling or in conjunction as well. So we're already starting to feel the buildup of the intensity, because Scorpio is really intense. So this intensity of the mind getting activated, the sun is what motivates us and gives us energy. And then Mars is our desire. It's our penetrator. It's the thing that says it's time to get, it's action, you know, time to get things done. You put these three together, sometimes they can't figure out who's talking and one may take over the other, and that our mouths could run away with us, or our minds can get too active and we start creating, like I say, paranoia or drama that isn't really there. How we can use this though is to be able to say, okay, wait a minute, is my mind creating this story? Am I making something up? Maybe I need to do some more investigation behind it, ask the right questions before I make assumptions and start taking action. Because remember, Scorpio is the scorpion, right? It's got that tail. And so we could get carried away and really sting somebody. It's hard to come back from that, you know. But I will say that this week, if there's any betrayals in your relationships, they're going to get revealed. And I say that tongue in cheek because it doesn't apply to everybody, but it is a pretty big indication astrologically that there are things that are coming to light. So one of the other things that I'll mention, and I'll just show you guys, is that we also have the moon here in Pisces on Tuesday. So it ingresses into Pisces, making a trine. It's a brief trine because the moon moves pretty quickly, a brief trine to the sun, Mercury, and Mars. And so our emotions are going to drive us. Right. So if we are feeling like we need to escape into something, great, you know, we might be able to use it to explore topics that have been maybe we didn't have the time and energy for it, or maybe the topics we thought we were a little too afraid to explore. Now we have some courage to do it. A lot of things may be happening behind the scenes and, you know, yet to be revealed, if you will. And then as we move through the week, the moon, of course, is moving through the various signs till it gets to the sign of Taurus here on Saturday. And in the sign of Taurus, it is going to be, and I didn't put the exact time for the degrees to line up, but it's at 5 degrees for the sun. And when the moon is hitting 5 degrees of Taurus, that's the exact full moon. Now, it is an eclipse in the sense that again, it's a pretty big, wide orb here because you've got the North Node in Aries at 24 degrees and the moon will be at 5 degrees. So you're talking 9-degree orb. Again, it's a little bit of a stretch, but we're still going to feel it. But the biggest thing to point out here is Mars. You can see Mars here and Jupiter are standing up opposite each other. And remember, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. And what Jupiter is going to encourage us to do, and because this is the last series of eclipses in Taurus Scorpio, we're going to be looking at endings. So if something hasn't been working, it's time to let it go. If there has been something you've been holding on to, it's time to let it go. Meaning if you held on to it and it didn't serve, no longer serves a purpose. Let's put it that way. It may be that it lets go for you. The universe decides, hey, I'm taking this away from you. That's where the surrender is going to come in. But I can see so many of us looking at patterns within ourselves, maybe the way we would normally react to news that gets revealed. We go, okay, I'm going to choose differently this time. That old pattern is done. You know, Scorpio is very healing. We want to heal deeply. We want to heal the betrayals and the losses from the past, you know, that maybe after this full moon, we can finally step into the stronger bonds that we may form with others and say, I don't need to hold on to my past, and I can truly move forward and manifest the things that I really want in my life. So I'm going to advise and offer that we spend a little bit of time before this full moon really looking at where are the wounds inside of ourselves that we're ready to let go of the story around them. Where are the wounds within our relationships that we're ready to let go of that story that we keep repeating over and over again? Maybe it's just in our heads, but we're not giving the opportunity for the relationship to move forward if we keep dragging it back to the past. So something else to look at this full moon and sit down with the patterns that may have emerged or the stories or themes that showed up back in November of 2021 when the nodes, it was our first eclipse with those Taurus Scorpio nodes. And so looking back these last 18 months, 2 years, what are some of the themes that you were working through that now you can say, I'm ready to let go. Maybe I'm ready to trust more. Maybe I'm ready to be more vulnerable. Maybe I'm ready to go deeper with my devotion, my commitment in relationship or to myself. There's also this beautiful magical energy, especially this time of year here in the Northern Hemisphere, and we have Halloween that's coming and all that good stuff, is that we can also use this time to say, where is my magical qualities? Where's my power? You know, and remind ourselves of the power that we hold in the value and where we deserve to shine. We deserve to be in this body. We deserve to be totally invested in the relationships that with the Libra energy, it was about, are they reciprocal? Or where are we compromising too much? We're now looking at, where did I hold on to past wounds and past hurts in this relationship that keep us stuck, that I can let go of, and that I can have true intimacy and I can go into deeper commitment. Because I will say that many of us who are part of this group here is that you may find you going deeper in commitment. Some of you may get engaged during this time, move in together, declare your love for each other and say, yeah, we're actually an exclusive couple now. So there's some really good, powerful energy here that shows up. So let's check in with each other. Comment, like, share. Tell me how this is working for you. I'm going to be posting my new dawn scopes on When to Listen, and then of course my assistant Joan posts for my social media the memes, and I'll give you by sign how this could affect you. Look at your moon, sun, rising sign. If you're not sure what it is, ask me. I'll pull your chart, or you can go online and get a free chart. But have a look and see how this eclipse may affect you. We know that eclipses also have an effect, usually a good couple weeks before, a couple weeks after. But this one feels to me as though it has a marked moment. And I would say sometime this week, maybe next week. Let's see how this rolls. All right, you guys, like, subscribe. I'll make up words. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you so much for watching this channel. Find me at jamiedawn.com, When to Listen, and I look forward to connecting with you anytime. Have a great day.